Totally Killer.
Yes.
Now, I think we all saw this one, right?
Yep.
Okay. Totally Killer. This is part of those films they've been doing where they take like an 80s comedy and remake it as a horror comedy. So what was it? Happy Death Day was Groundhog Day. Freaky was basically Freaky Friday. The Totally Killer is Back to the Future for the most part. I haven't watched any of those movies, by the way. This is the first one I've watched out of that like group. I don't know if those are better, but this one was streaming for free, so I watched that. Basically, the girl, her mom is a survivor of like a previous slasher attack from like the 80s. The slasher comes back, kills her mom. Her friend, who just happens to be making a time machine, accidentally like sends her back in time with the killer. And she now has to like reshape history to make sure her mom survives. And wacky hijinks ensue. Gil, what did you think of Totally Killer?
I thought Totally Killer was totally solid.
Totally Giller, you mean, right? Right? Okay.
Damn it, that was better. Can we do that again for the podcast?
Yeah. Gil, what did you think of Totally Killer?
It's Totally Giller.
Whoa!
Whoa! That's so smart. You're so smart, Gil.
I thought it was okay. I thought it was fun. Tony, you mentioned my favorite part, which is I go into the movie wondering how are they going to do the time travel, and I figured it'll be like she gets struck by lightning, or they're not even going to try and explain it. But it's just her friend is, I'm working on a time machine for the school science fair or whatever, which I found so funny. And it's like tonally weird because I feel like the rest of the movie is silly, but this is like Rick and Morty levels of absurdity, and the rest of the movie doesn't go to that same level. And I think I might have enjoyed it more if it did. Otherwise, though, it's the kind of movie that's perfect for whenever it's Halloween and I'm trying to find something to watch with friends. I want to watch something legitimately terrifying. They want something fun. This is like the good averaging of tastes where I can enjoy the little parcels of tension and thrills, and they can enjoy all the laughs. For me, the comedy was like 50-50 what landed and what didn't. But overall, I thought it was fun. The one bone I have to pick with it is they sometimes cut back to the present, and they did it so infrequently that it felt like they forgot about it. And then I realized it was there for a reason, but I felt like they needed to find more to do with it because otherwise it felt kind of odd. Who is it? Joey, you were saying pacing, very important. I feel like that was a minor pacing issue with the movie. But otherwise, yeah, it was fun. I enjoyed it.
All right, Joey, what did you think?
Yeah, I thought it was fun as hell. I honestly can't wait to watch it again because I loved Happy Death Day. I'm shocked you haven't seen that. That's a great movie.
I know.
Gil, like what you said, the balance between comedy and horror is really well done. And I love the climax and the twist in this movie. I'm not going to say it, but it's really fantastic movie. And it's a really good movie to watch with friends. I agree. It's a fun ride. Blumhouse strikes again, baby.
Well, I watched it alone, but thank you for telling me it's really great to watch with friends.
I also watched it alone. Well, no, I had Grimace.
Yeah, Grimace.
You had Grimace at least.
That's right.
Adam, you actually just did a video breaking down like a bunch of the Blumhouse horror films,
That's
right?
I did, yeah.
So how does this one compare to the others?
I think it was I enjoyed it. I didn't think it was great by any means. I think Happy Death Day is better. This kind of felt more like The Babysitter. Do you remember that one? The Babysitter.
I didn't enjoy that one.
Yeah, this is better than that, but it kind of had that straight to TV vibe for me. I don't really like digital film as much as like old school stock film, and this kind of had that. I don't know. It didn't feel movie quality to me, but the jokes, I agree with Gil. We're about 50-50. I'm not a big fan of the kind of like modern Seinfeld humor. I love Seinfeld, but I don't like the new gen humor where it's point out everything that's wrong with the past.
I got a question. I got a comment about that, but yes.
You know what I'm saying though? Like the joke landed when they would show them playing dodgeball or like hitting each other. But then Sabrina the Teenage Witch, who's that?
Is that who that is?
Yeah, that's who that is. She would be like, "You can't do that," or "That's inappropriate," or
okay.
And nobody reacts when she says it. So it's like, what are we doing?
So
here?
I talked about this with Joey. This is obviously a woman going back in time. I want to make the same thing where a guy goes back in time and he's like, "Oh, thank God, I could be an asshole." Like, oh my God, like I want the opposite of this.
Just, like, waiting to wear the booby inspector shirt so bad.
Yeah. Because she sees a guy in a female booby inspector shirt. She's like, "Oh, that's not right. I want to do the thing where I go back in time, like." Oh my God, I gotta buy one of those shirts. That's awesome. Yeah. Like he just they're like, you gotta get back to the future to save your dad. He's like, no, I'm having too much fun in the past. I'm not going back to the future.
Yeah, see that? Well, that's kind of the Barbie movie where Ken goes into the real world and he's like infatuated by the patriarchy. That was funny. But again, even in Barbie, I kind of had that same thing where it's show don't tell. And every time they would make a joke at the expense of the past, which is fine, it's funny. They would go the extra step and like point out why it's wrong. And that's where you lose it. It's like, you had the punchline. Don't go the extra distance and ruin it.
Yeah. If like she sees like an Indian, and they're called like the Red Devils.
Right.
Like her just sighing would have been fine.
Exactly.
Would have been great.
But then she had to go, and there's the casual racist. Like, we know.
Well, she's saying it to no one. It's just to herself.
It's to us.
Yeah. Did you see that? You couldn't do that today.
I seriously was getting I almost felt like she was going to go full Fleabag at a moment and just look right at us, the camera, and be like, you see what's going on over here?
Were they like, because that would have been better if it was just the sigh, but I wonder if the writers are like, but people might not know why she's sighing. We have to let them know that it's wrong. It's like, no, we get it. We're not idiots. I guess unless you know, if you're from a different part of the world, you know nothing about Native Americans. I guess maybe that's confusing to you, but most of us got it. I don't know. Where did you land on this movie, Crystal?
I absolutely loved it. Besides the very forced woke jokes, which did get a little annoying because it was nonstop, and then her being that motherly figure a little too hard. Besides that, I absolutely loved it. It felt a lot of fun. I also love this actress because I loved Sabrina the Teenage Witch series. Loved it, thought it was fun. So that brought me back to that character for her anyway, because it was a little similar. It nailed it, I think, with the 80s jokes, the killing, and all of a sudden how things were changing. Because I was wondering how they were going to do that.
The Mandela effect was used pretty well in this.
Is it the river? I thought that was really cool when it's like the mom mentions the river and then the daughter later like mentions the river, and it just there's little things in there that was like a cherry on top, but then there was really sour cherries that should have been thrown out. So
I do like how like Back to the Future is like a son trying to like to steer his dad in the right direction, and this is like a daughter being like, "Oh my God, Mom, you're pretty terrible. We gotta like
you were a whore."
I mean, to be fair, Marty's mom was trying to bang him at one point.
She really was.
Is this mask supposed to be inspired by Kiefer Sutherland from?
Well, it actually looks like Max Headroom.
Yeah,
it's not a Max Headroom mask, but I think it's just supposed to resemble it.
Well, I'm getting Kiefer from Lost Boys vibes with the blonde hair and the earring.
Oh yeah, maybe.
But yeah, Max Headroom for sure too. It's like a combo.
I do like that redhead, the one who was in Based on a True Story and Scream 6.
Yeah.
She's been popping up in a lot of things lately, so I like seeing her. And son of a bitch.
What?
Son of a.
Oh my God!
Hi, Mint.
Hello. I watched Totally Killers last night, Tony. I watched this last night.
What did you think about it, Mint Sal? Sorry, world famous. But
all of a sudden, has fame gone to her head yet?
Yeah, not famous enough to be recognized at Universal Studios, but world famous Mint Sal. What did you think of Totally Killer?
All right. So the very beginning, I was like, you know what? The premise, it's okay. I enjoy it. I didn't quite get it at first. And then like as the movie went on and on, I was like, okay, you know, I'm kind of intrigued by this because like I don't think I've like ever really seen a plot like this before. Using time travel. And then, you know, I really like the colors. The colors really impressed me. Those are the biggest things that I had to note about it.
You mentioned that in movies all the time. You're like, I like the color.
I mean, the color work cannot be understated. Color work is great in colors.
Okay.
Colors are great in colors.
You should put that on like the poster for Totally Killer. Color is great in colors, Mint Sour.
Exactly.
It's the pull quote.
All colors in movies must be appreciated. I don't think people talk about the colors enough, personally.
You're right. You're right, Mint. They don't talk about the colors enough.
No, they
And-
sure don't.
And your light just turned off. Awesome.
No, that's in color mode, actually. I'm making a point. I'm making a point, Tony.
Yes.
Tony doesn't see color, so
Yeah.
I don't see color. I don't
Yeah.
see color.
Whoa.
Good for you, Tony. Colorblind over here.
That you know what? I was just thinking after editing a video with you all day and spending 2 weeks with you, I'm like, I just feel like I'm just not getting enough mint salad in my life. So thanks for showing up unannounced.
Well, you need the minerals and vitamins from a mint salad.
God damn it, Mint. All right, so we all recommend Totally Killer. It's a
Yes.
good time.
It is a good time.
Sorry, Mint, you threw me off. One last thing. I love that the ending of this movie, they call it the quantum drop, but it was called the Gravitron at my carnival.
Yes, it was.
Mhm, mhm.
I love that ride as a kid. And it was really taking me back how like they were stuck and the thing would go, and then they would
That was
try to
great.
stand vertical. I'm like, oh my God, I did all of this as
Did
a
you,
kid.
Tony? Did you ever try hanging on to the middle as long as you could? Because our guy let us do that, and then it would like suck you backwards.
No,
Oh, that
no.
was great.
Our guy did not allow that.
You
If
haven't
you go
lived.
sideways though, would you like jump and try to see if you can go upside
Mhm,
down?
mhm.
And
I
then all
would
of a sudden
try,
when it would
yeah.
Slow down, you
Yeah.
just fall on your head.
I would
fucking love that ride.
sit up and get so dizzy. That was my favorite part of the movie. It was like, oh my God, it's the Gravitron.
Yeah, at
but yeah.
at my theme park, it wasn't called the Gravitron or anything like that. They literally just called it, I think, it was like the Rotary or something.
Okay.
It's like
I thought
literally
you were
just
gonna-
spins around.
I thought you were going to say it's called the Gillatron. I thought you were going to keep that joke going.
I'm gonna get it next time.
Yeah, missed
Also, I
out.
wasn't quick enough on it, but when you were saying like, "All right, we're all wrapped up here on Totally Killer," wait a minute, mint salad.
Damn it.
And then she disappeared.
Yeah, she's just
She
gone.
showed up uninvited, unannounced, and then disappeared.
Oh, she's like a fairy godmother. She just kind of comes when she's needed and then goes away.
Okay, what's the next movie? God damn. Hold on, let me see here. Totally good. Okay, yeah. Next movie.